your assignment is to write a monologue from the point of view of Miep or Mr. Kraler. You're going to describe how you feel about hiding the Frank family in the secret annex. You're going to use details from In Hiding to help you write your monologue. You need to use 12-point font, Times New Roman, and double spaced. For the most part, you guys would have already opened up your Word document. So what I'm going to do is do what I've told you guys already. I'm going to make sure my font starts off at Times New Roman so that I don't have to worry about going back and fixing it. Yeah, there is a lot of fonts, but that's the thing. With using Times New Roman, you keep it nice and simple.
Why is it so many fonts?
Because that's just the way the world is. 12, and then after that, it's going to be double spaced. My title is going to be In Hiding by Mr. Garcia. And I'm going to use myself as a character because I don't want you guys to be using the words that I use exactly. You have a creative mind. You have a creative ability. You have your own words you can use. Okay? Now, if I'm going to go off after the hand plan, I'm going to start off with my introduction and then my conclusion. So when this took place. This is a monologue, right? So a monologue means I'm talking to myself. I'm going to go ahead and start off with, my name is Chris Garcia, and I am living during the World War II battles. Next, I have to describe where I am. I am in the downtown district of Amsterdam in the country of the Netherlands. The challenge I face is keeping the Frank family safe from the German Nazis. It's been nearly 2 years of hiding them in the annex of my apartment studio. I'm gonna make sure I indent that. So now my first paragraph. First, I must be the guardian that they need. Being that I am not of Jewish descent, meaning a Jewish heritage, I have a small advantage of not being recognized or taken away to a concentration camp ran by the Nazis. It's a lot of them. And it's not just one specific. I am scared to death on a daily basis because if I am caught, I will suffer the Yes.
Wasn't it supposed to be on the perspective of Miep or Mr. Kraler?
Right.
Yeah. But you said yourself?
I'm using myself.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, why?
Because I don't want you guys to copy me. You guys are seeing an example of a monologue. After that, you guys can make your own. It's a great question. That's why I'm using myself. Because I am living. You cannot use yourself, though, because the prompt tells you guys you need to use Miep or Mr. Kraler, right?
Yes.
That's what you're going to stick to. I have the luxury of using myself as an example. Right, Angel? Yeah? I'm really glad I'm creating this screencast because I'm going to share this with your parents later on. And if they see any interruptions and stuff, they're going to hear your name called out. It's just the, ladies and gentlemen and parents, this is the day in and day out lesson plans that we have. So when I teach a lesson, this is how it goes sometimes. I have good questions and I have distractions. So thank you, parents, for listening. And anyone else on YouTube. All right, let me go back to it. I'm scared to death on a daily basis because if I am caught, I will suffer the consequences as if I were a Jew. However, knowing that I am protecting and keeping a family safe from the terror of physically suffering, it is worth living day by day with a small dosage of fear. Second, the idea of living on the edge gravitates my mind and gives me a rush that almost allows me to feel like the American comic of Captain America. It's because Captain America was developed and created during World War II. I don't know if you guys knew that. Yeah, there's even photos of him like fighting like Adolf Hitler. If you watch the original one, you see it in there. Like Hydra is technically like the Nazis and stuff. It's actually cool. It's a cool way of looking at it. It's fictional, but it's kind of like, yeah. Second, the idea of living on the edge gravitates my mind. It gives me the rush that almost allows me to feel like the American comic of Captain America. I look to the qualities of being a man of my word, just like Steve Rogers, and also protecting and fighting for a cause that saves lives. Yes.
You know how it's a journal entry? Wait, it's a journal entry, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do I have to put dates?
I technically implied it was during World War II.
Pretty dumb.
Well, if you put World War II, it'll automatically make the person think like, okay, it's during the late like mid 30s, around there. Yeah. Like 40s and stuff. So yeah, it's just basically implying. This is a way of actually getting around without having to put specific dates. Yeah. Because right here it says write a monologue. And is anywhere it says write a diary?
No.
Anywhere it says write a journal entry?
No.
So I don't have to be specific like a diary or journal entry, right, Ashley?
Yes.
Every day, I take the newspaper to the Frank family to keep them updated on how the war is going. I am encouraged when I see little Anne write down her daily thoughts. And the reason behind this is the fact that her thoughts will be recorded in history, or at least I hope so. Lastly, I find myself having to be cheerful on a daily basis The reason being is because I have to encourage and pour some faith into the Frank family that their lives are safe, it's not easy always being cheerful in a drastic or life-threatening situation. However, if that is what I must do to keep their emotions safe, then I will do it. All in all, it is my duty to keep the Frank family and all my co-workers who are supporting them. Shout out to Miep and Mr. Kraler. All in all, it's my duty to keep the Frank family and all of my coworkers who are supporting them. Shout out to Miep and Mr. Kraler. Safe in a physical and emotional sense. I pray and hope that this war ends soon and that justice is brought to the dumb Nazis. All right. After that, I'm going to go to review, spelling and grammar. It's asking me to check Miep. Ignore that because I know I spelled it, and Kraler because that's a name. Oh, wow. Spelling and grammar is complete. I would suggest for you guys to do that. Hiding by Mr. Garcia. Some of you guys are doing this. It's not acceptable. You're adding bold. Actually, you can add bold to that, but you're making it really big. 16. Other things you're like, oh my gosh, this looks really nice. I'm going to put it like that. Ooh, I want it all underlined. You know what? I want it all bolded. No. It's not supposed to be like that. Not even the title. I want that at 12-point font. The only thing you're allowed to do that's fancy is bold the title. Like that. Not even underlined. Yep. Nope. Not underlined. Did you guys see what I just did? This is my expectation. Look how much I wrote. How long did it take me? Oh, you know what? Why am I asking you guys? Let me look at my recording. All right. This has been a conclusion of a modeled writing piece to my students. Hopefully, I trust they can actually write a lot better than I can because they have bigger imaginations than I do because they're still molding their brains and they're not 25 years old yet. All right, that's some psychological studies there. All right, have a great day, people.